So here I am in the second part of my jump school. I'm calling it keeping Zack in a box, but I'm going to talk a lot about the pros and cons of trying to maneuver a young horse over fences. So anyway, that's my first cross rail. And as you can see, Zack is very enthusiastic about jumping. As I come back around to the X, I'm thinking again a lot about his trot, a lot about his balance, and this is where I am trying to keep him in the box. But as I approach the jump, I really want to get out of his way a little bit and allow him to figure it out. So, 3 strides out from the jump, you're only going to interfere, and it's hard to remember that with a young horse. You'll see it now at the canter. I try to just stop doing anything, and we get a pretty good jump. As I work him at this stage, my primary interest is in him listening to me and having some communication with him about his stride. So I want him to have a good rhythm. If he rushes the jump, I'm going to interfere, but I have to be careful about over-interfering. This is something that you kind of have to learn the hard way. So here, as I canter to the jump, I'm going to try to relax, and you can see he kind of fishtails and doesn't want to stay straight. This is when I'm really working on trying to keep him in a box. And you'll see it happen several times in the course of this jump school. He just wants to kind of swing his body when I give him the half halt to get back in the box. But the goal is to make those adjustments away from the jump and then allow him to come to the jump in a good rhythm. Now you saw he swapped leads, and that gave him kind of a funky balance on that jump. So I had a conversation with a good friend who's a jumper trainer, Alejo Madalena, and we talked about what a horse at his age should be doing. And he said he really recommended just sticking with cross rails and oxers and kind of keeping him in a box. Well, there's where the box falls apart, because I didn't see the distance and he didn't see the distance. This time, I'm going to try to allow a little more. And we still didn't get our distance, but it was a little smoother. And it was a little less, it was kind of like we were a team. Working with young horses, the goal here is to keep their enthusiasm. Keep them wanting to do the job. We can make mistakes, like break. But as long as we kind of keep going and keep the horse feeling brave, a young horse, the most important thing you can do for it is give it confidence. And some of that is allowing it to make mistakes and, just saying, okay, it's okay, you made the mistake, just keep going. So this is a small oxer. And I trot everything at this stage in the beginning, because it just allows him to think about it and have some control, that's maybe a liberal term, over his body. So I'll do it several times at the trot, trying to just keep him steady. And he picks up the canter at the last minute, but that's okay. That's enthusiasm, and as long as I don't fuss with him. Now you see, after the jump I had a little bit of a fuss, but we come back to the walk, we sort it out and start over again. I'm going to start at the trot, because I wasn't super happy with how he came into the fence and wanted to get overzealous. So here I am trotting to the jump. But as I approach the jump, I'm going to try not to do a lot. And he does something kind of, he just wants to make a bid. He just wants to kind of get it over with. And ultimately, you want a horse that you don't have to hold into the jumps. You want to be able to allow them to to relax, and you don't want them leaning on your hands coming to the fence. So my goal here at keeping him at the trot is to get him to relax a little bit and come to the jump without too much enthusiasm. Now here he wants to swing, and there's your enthusiasm. So he wants to swing his hips when I half halt. And that's a little bit of a struggle. One of the things when I was riding that I realized partway through the riding was that I needed to be using my right leg a lot more to control his hips. I was closing the outside rein and actually accidentally kind of pushing with my left leg. See? And there I needed to use my right leg. So coming into the jumps, I started to realize my right leg really needed to be pushing him into my left rein, especially here on a turn to the right. Now he's keeping a good canter rhythm, and as he approaches the jump, you'll see he'll want to kind of fishtail a little bit, but then, we just stick to the plan. And there shouldn't be a punishment. We just have to kind of repeat and repeat and repeat. And here I go again, repeating the same exercise. Let's keep the rhythm, the canter, and come to the jump without swinging at my half halt when I go to straighten him. So much better. Not a
more
big
straight on
jump,
that one,
but a jump that was appropriate for the size of the fence. So this is my last jump. It's about a 2/6 oxer with a placement rail. I trot to it. He gives me a nice jump, and I keep cantering. And again, if he keeps a good rhythm, I'm coming to the jump. And we'll see here, the placement rail helps me be able to let go of him a little bit and go with the ride. And ultimately, I want flow in my jumping. So nice.
that placement pole helps him so much.
I was so happy with how
I said that placement pole helps
up.
him so much.
I didn't do any more. So in my opinion, that was a great jump school.